गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू। आवाज आ रही सभी को? तो कमेंट एवरीवन में करो वरना इसमें करो।
ये सर आवाज आ रही है।
और बाकी सब दोनों ग्रुप में डाल दो, ज्वाइन फॉर टैक्स। गुड मॉर्निंग खुशबू। अपने इंडियन के ग्रुप में डाल दो। क्या नाम है इसका, नितिन। खुशबू नोट्स आएगा तुम्हारे? अच्छा, गुड गुड गुड। कब आए खुशबू? गुड गुड गुड, नाइस नाइस नाइस। मानसी आई क्या? मानसी नहीं आई। खुशबू नितिन, कैन वी बिगिन?
सर तेजल राहिली है।
अरे हाँ, तेजल को भी बीमार थी शायद, करो वो करेगी कि नहीं जाना, आई डोंट नो। मैसेज किया उसको?
हाँ सर, वो क्वेश्चन दिया था आपने 8th।
हाँ, कुलशेखर वाला।
हाँ कुलशेखरन।
हाँ, उसका क्या हुआ आगे?
हाँ
तुम्हारे
कुलशेखरन कोलंबो में रहता है, पर उसकी सारी इनकम इंडिया से आ रही है ना, तो फिर भी वो टैक्सेबल है बिकॉज इनकर डीम टू इनकर्ड एंड अराइज इन इंडिया।
सेक्शन 9 ना बेसिकली।
सेक्शन 9 बेसिकली।
वो मतलब डिड यू चेक इट फ्रॉम स्टडी मटेरियल? कर लिया?
हाँ
लिख लिया
सर।
नोटबुक में सब लोगों ने? मानसी, खुशबू, नितिन, नोटबुक में लिख लिया तुम लोगों ने? चलो स्टार्ट। गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू, विल गो अहेड। So 2 chapters already done. Yes, everybody. Basics and your residential status and scope of total income. Residential status, I agree, was a little bit different. All right. But like I said, remaining of the chapters as such overall either are only lengthy, but and some may be very, very short, but kind of still logical, no issues. Okay. When I say still logical, even residential was logical. The only problem is lots of things and numbers were required to be by hearted or remembered, right? Sure. We'll go ahead, everybody. Third chapter, agricultural income. I hope now all of you have notes with you, correct? Okay. Check this part. All right. Now we are basically now, can you see first 2 chapters together? First 2 chapters together, we can see 15 to 20%. So that we have already covered. Okay, everybody, out of what 60 marks of your CA inter, if I'm talking about CA inter. Now the big categories from chapter number 3 to chapter number 9 is a big category. So you never know, obviously, that what all will come from which all of the chapters. So it is again a big chunk. So like I said, you can't skip any of the chapters. I'm telling you, any of the chapters. Especially never ever leave small chapters. From small chapters, we'll do all the, you have to do all the concepts. I mean, that strongly and properly. Okay, you cannot leave even one question of small chapters also. Clear, Delia? Yes. So the next week start bacho with the chapter called as agricultural income. This concept of tax on agricultural income. Where was the first time we learned or saw anything about it? You can unmute, okay? Where did we learn or saw or anything about agricultural income in the first place, first time? Chapter number 1, bacho. Yeah, all right. And what did we see about it?
सर टैक्स नहीं लगता एग्रीकल्चर इनकम पे.
Correct. So there is no tax on agricultural income. In fact, that was written not in Income Tax Act. That was not even written in Income Tax Act. It was written in the Constitution. In the Constitution, bacho, entry number 82, it said that tax will be levied on income, but other than bacho, what? Agricultural income. Can you see here? Other than agricultural income. Your first chapter itself. Yes, everybody? That we can levy tax on income, but other than agricultural income. That time, obviously not that time, but still you will see there is a lot of sentimental thing for farmers, food, farming, etc. You should not have tax on agricultural income because they are obviously raising one of the basic necessities, food, clothing, shelter. So food. So today also the concept is still there that on normal, I'll say basic food, there is no tax. There obviously should not be tax, okay, on basic food. In fact, you may have heard of that PDS system, public distribution system, ration shop, we call them, correct? So over there, we try to give, in fact, your food for very, very subsidized price, low prices. So we cannot or should not have tax on food or agriculture. Still, we have a chapter of agricultural income. Because now understand. Because Income Tax Act, okay, Income Tax Act doesn't define the term directly, but agriculture, okay. I mean, there is no clarity or there is no sure shot. You can say you can have a bifurcation or differentiation. What exactly is agriculture? And so what exactly will be agricultural income to make it exempt? Yes, Celia? Now understand. Now keep one thing very much clear in your mind. As soon as I say agricultural income, it should be taxable or not taxable. What do you think?
Not taxable.
Not taxable, everybody, correct? Yes. So this chapter, in fact, what we are going to do or learn is going to tell you which all incomes we have to make them as exempt. Or which all income, now understand, which all incomes will be categorized or understood as agricultural income, and only because of that, and therefore it will be exempt. So some activities, okay, bacho, now some activities will be agricultural activity and some will be not. So if they are agricultural, what will they say? Okay, that is agricultural income, therefore exempt. If they are not agricultural activity, then we'll say no, they are not agricultural income, therefore taxable. Are you getting my point or no, everybody? Now just understand, very simple. Let us say we'll take small example. I dream of, or I have, let us say, aspiration of having a land, and on that land I want to have lots of I'll say, let us say I'll do agricultural activity of growing flowers, like nursery you understand, I hope, correct? Yes, everybody. So I'll grow lots of small plants, trees, creepers, flowers, all of that, and I want to sell that. Okay, everybody, clear? So I am growing those plants and selling them. That is one thing, correct? But when I have a big, huge land, and then the production, not production, but the output is in lots of kgs, etc. I cannot go and you can say sell to each and every house. I am doing wholesale business. Clear? But let us say you want to give your bouquet, you understand, no, flowers, etc. to somebody. You don't go directly to land and nursery to get the bouquet, because that is not the work of nursery, creating or giving of bouquets. Okay, everybody, bunch of flowers. So you buy from somebody like a flower shop. Correct, Elia? Now the flower shop person is also selling flowers, but only you can say bouquet. He's not even doing anything different to them. Is he doing anything different? Is he creating something else out of flowers? No. He got flowers, he just cleaned them, he just put them in a bunch together, put some decoration or whatever, or something, wrapped them up, that is a bouquet. So selling of that is also plants. Correct, Elia? And when I'm doing some agricultural activities where I am growing those plants and flowers, that is also agricultural activity. Are you getting the point? But do you think taxability on both of them will be same? What do you think? taxability on both of them will be same, but what do you think? Anything? Or both of them are exactly same? They are different, no? Yes, correct. Yes, some of you are answering correct. They are different. They are different, bacho, correct? What do you think, bacho? Which one will be actually proper core agricultural activity? Now the answer is quite simple. I'm telling you lots. I'm giving you obviously lots of hints. The activity which we did on the land, that is your core basic agricultural activity. The second activity, can I call it as a trading activity? In fact, tell me. The second activity, in fact, I can call it as a trading activity. Trading, you understand it? Then tell me quickly. When I use the term trading, what comes to your mind? It should be clear, absolutely clear in your head. Trading means what? Khushbu, Indrajit, what do you think or mean by trading? You can unmute. Very good, Khushbu. Good answer. Correct. Buying and selling. Absolutely correct. So trading is different from production, or you can say manufacturing. Clear, Elia? Fine. So your trading, but your trading will not be considered as an agricultural income. It will be in fact your, which kind of income? How many heads of income do you have, Bachu? How many heads of income do you have? 5. So if I sell bouquet, or I have a flower shop, okay, flower shop where I'm selling bacho bouquets and a bunch of flowers, will that be salary income? No. Will that be your income from house property? No. Will that be capital gains? No. Will that be income from other sources also? No. It will be bacho business income. Clearly, when I'm selling the bouquets. Yes, clear all of you? Fine. So here basically now we'll be discussing what all are agricultural activities to be, therefore will be, which will be, you can say, eligible or considered as agricultural income and therefore exempt. Clear, everybody? We'll go ahead. Okay. Just a little bit of discussion we can have on 3.4. Check. Difference between agricultural and non-agricultural income. So that is the reason we have to have some kind of definition or some kind of understanding. What will constitute as agriculture and therefore what will not constitute as agriculture. Clear? Now, since there are at times not clear answers in the Income Tax Act, where do we refer? Whose help can we take? Rules? Maybe that is one of your answers. Okay, if it is not given also with rules, then what are the options you have? You want to check a particular activity is agricultural or non-agricultural. Imagine yourself as an article student. Your principal tells you this particular activity is agriculture or not agriculture. Which you are going to go on Google. I know that. Right? Apart from Google, Google can give you but facts. It cannot give you opinion.
सर लॉजिक लगाएंगे अगर वो डायरेक्टली एग्रीकल्चर से जुड़ा होगा तो एग्रीकल्चरल अदर नॉन एग्रीकल्चर.
But that is an opinion, na Indrajit. What you're saying, you will use logic, but that is an opinion. That is a personal opinion. I can say, okay, this seems illogical because logic can be again subjective. Subjective, understand, difference from person to person. I'm talking about some technical answer. I gave you one of the hint. One is rules I'll look into. If not rules, then basically what is the basis? Income Tax Act is not clear, Nitin, correct. Nitin is saying Income Tax Act, but I'm saying it is not clear in Income Tax Act. Now they are not in the Income Tax Act, these words, you think these words will be there? Sale of seeds, flowers, creepers, you think so? No, obviously not. It is not giving all the details like this because how much can we cover? Okay. Finance Act also gives you limited thing. It only gives you income tax rates and amendments to Income Tax Act. Now, if it is not in Income Tax Act, then it will not be there in the Finance Act also. Rules, no. Third, what can we go into? Circulars, notifications. Remember, clarification given by CBDT. Binding on the circular is binding on department, but not binding on the assessee. Clear? Notifications. But, okay, if it is given over there in CBDT circular, good. If not, one of the major sources of understanding settled, you understand, settled principles, settled, you can say, logic, settled, we understood. It is not done. Case laws. When you will do bacho articleship, there is a book called, I mean, you don't have to use it right now. Okay, don't also. It is used by professionals, those who are in practice. It is called as Master Guide. It is a publication, Master Guide to Income Tax Act. If at all you have anybody as a practicing CA, etc., and he has this book, you can go through it for time pass. Now, for time pass means now you can see you have learned a little bit till section 9. You have almost reached. This Master Guide to Income Tax. This is a book basically. It gives you section wise all the important cases, and just obviously small summary, 2 lines, 3 lines. And if at all you want to read the case in detail, then I hope you remember I had given that example of citation, that income tax reporter, etc., taxman. Over there, you can go and read the entire case. Master Guide gives you summary of section-wise case laws. Are you getting my point? So if I have a doubt today, okay, section 10.1 we are going to learn basically agricultural income. So if I go to Master Guide, now I'll get a bunch of case laws. It says whether it is agricultural income and not or not. Okay, till here, understood? Clear, everybody? So understand. Okay, let's go ahead. So whatever we are going to see the difference between agricultural and non-agricultural, some of these examples which are given in the study material, but these examples are ultimately coming from case laws. Case study, not case studies, case laws. By the way, news I wanted to give you all, if at all anybody asks you about the new scheme of CA intermediate. Yesterday I had privilege to go to the branch, ICI branch, and over there central council member were having a discussion, a speech, etc. So they were talking about, since the teachers were invited yesterday, so they were saying it is now your responsibility to talk about a new scheme to the students, etc. And they need lots of help to build or to create the syllabus also, okay, in detail. So they were saying we are looking forward to implement the new scheme as early as November 23. Okay, so May 23 for sure is not there for new syllabus. November 23 is their target minimum, bare minimum. Bare minimum means they are trying hard, and it will be November 23 for applicability of new syllabus. Okay, fine. So if you're giving in May, November, and so don't worry. Like I think I had already answered that question. Whenever there is new scheme introduced, so both the old schemes and new schemes also run parallelly for at least 2 years. Okay, so you'll be getting that attempts also. But obviously, like I don't want you to give lots of attempts. So understood, Ilya? Any doubts? We'll go ahead, everybody. Yes? Pareha? Okay. Chalo. Okay, now understand. So these, whatever clarification is coming, it is coming from case laws. Okay, so check. Income derived from sale of seeds. But what bacho? Sale of seeds. Trading. Again, only bacho what? Core seeds. Now again, court has decided that yes, this is seed is as good as, again, it's going to grow into a plant only. So it is basically a basic of plant or any kind of tree. So it is also what? Your agricultural activity. Income from growing of flowers and creepers. Okay. Are they saying bacho sale of flowers and creepers? Now are you getting the point? Obviously, use common sense that you're going to grow and sell only. You're not going to eat it for yourself, all the production from the land, isn't it? Are you going to keep it in your home only for decoration purpose? No. So what, you're going to grow it and sell it. But first, what growing? So only growing is what? Not, it is an agricultural activity. Finally, third, rent received from land. But the land is used for grazing of cattle. Grazing, do you understand? Their meal, food of the cattle, okay, eating, grazing of land required for agricultural activities. Now, but you check such varied different nature of incomes you're having. Rent from land, but the land is used for as a grazing field, eating bacho. Yes, for whom? For the cattle, and the cattle are used in agricultural activities. So it's a little bit far-fetched. It is a stretched connection, but still everything is in the core of agricultural activities. Clear? Income from growing of bamboo. Now all these little bit stupid issues can be there. See, like I used to tell you, Income Tax Act is now 1961 is quite old now, correct? But if the act is not very much clear, and it all depends on the approach also. But in the last 5-10 years, the government or overall department has also become tech savvy. Tech savvy, you understand high tech little bit. So they are giving they get clarification also from CBDT or government that we should not harass the assessees, that this point we should not deal into, etc. Correct? But that was not always the case. No, this is just last 10-15 years. The clarification is given from the top that don't harass the taxpayers, don't take out any stupid unnecessary cases. But this thing today also it happens. If at all you are in an opposition party, ED comes, ED CBI comes for visit. So these things were there. That political angle or using of power is what I'm highlighting, can be there. And it used to be there, but 10-15 years back also. Are you getting my point or no? So this rivalry, okay, also rivalry. There used to be cases, I'm telling you now some different things, that there used to be raids of income tax department, and income tax department exactly used to know which office, which locker, what money is kept, even before they could raid it. Because at times, the information was leaked by the accountant only of the assessee or client. Because because the accountant was not happy, his salary was not increased, anything, it can be anything. Correct? So use of power used to be there, and it was there earlier also. So department income tax, some kind of income tax officer may have said, no, bamboo is not plant, flower, tree, etc. Bamboo is again for show, this and that. What, it can be any case. So basically these cases went to the court, is what I'm trying to tell you. Clear? Because of lack of clarification. Lack, you understand LACK? Lack means there was no clarity. Understood? So income from growing of bamboo, also agricultural activity. Now, fees received for renewal of grant of land on lease would be revenue derived from land. Lease, you understand, bachu? All of you tell me quickly. Lease, you understand? It is a long-term rent. So lease renewal. Okay. Even that is bachu what? Agricultural income. But that obviously that income is coming for what? Giving of granting that land for agricultural activities. Granting of that land for agricultural activities. Clearly, even that is considered as what? Agricultural income. Yes, Celia? Give 2 stars here. Okay, these are examples and it can come in MCQ. They can give you 4 incomes and then they'll ask you which one is agricultural income. Clear? Then income from breeding of livestock. Livestock, you understand, bacho? Your sheep, bulls, cows, all of that. So breeding of livestock, you can use whatever from the livestock. Okay, I'm not going into details. Income from poultry, obviously poultry, you understand? Chicken, correct? Hen. Income from fisheries. Has anything got to do with land directly over here? No, this is about livestock and animals. Dairy farming. Dairy farming, bacho. Dairy farming, not an agricultural activity. Dairy is obviously milk, you understand, bacho. Milk and milk production, milk and milk products. Clear? All of you quickly answer. All of you there? Yes? So these are not agricultural income. So what do you think, bacho? Which will be exempt and which will be taxable? Left one will be definitely then exempt. This will be taxable. Clear, Delia? All of you? All right. So let's go back. Okay. So check. Section 10(1). Did we cover what to section 9? Tell me now. Did we cover section 9? Yes. Till 9 you have reached. Okay. Done also. Hai na? All right. Section 10. So before I go into details, we have done, I think, 10(1) something. Done means just written somewhere. 10(7), I hope so. Now I'm hoping that you will not forget this, but most of you will forget after 1 month. 10(7). Any answer? Anything, बच्चों?
Exemptions.
Correct. Exemption for which income?
Agricultural income.
Correct. 10(7). Nitin? Gift? No. Gift was 56 to 10, beta. 56. Very good, Mansi. Foreign allowance. How you forgot? Foreign allowance. I thought you will forget after 1 month. You forgot after 1 day only. My goodness. Amazing. Good. Keep it up. Nice. Okay. 10(7) foreign allowance, bacho. We discussed it also later on. We have solved 2-3 questions also on it. Okay. Revise, please. You cannot afford to miss on what is already covered. Okay. Sure. So 10(1), 10(7). 10(1) is something about agriculture. It says not taxable. 10(7) bacho also says foreign allowance not taxable. So basically section 10 talks about bacho what? Not taxable. That is all of your exempt income. Okay. So in fact, I am not gone into details, but section 10, just for your highlight, for your understanding, but you check what is it saying. Incomes which do not form part of total income. This total income, this word should be absolutely clear in your head now. Yes. Total income. What is total income? It's taxable income. So these are incomes, but they will not be part of total income, or you can say taxable. They will not be part of taxable income. Therefore, it is what in simple language they are exempt income. Tell me, understood or no? So again, so a little bit of basics of this chapter, bacho. Income Tax Act. Understand, Income Tax Act defines the word income, but it was a very big list. Includes, right or wrong? So they were just giving examples. So tomorrow, bacho, anything can be income that is there. But again, from this, all the entire chunk of income, even illegal income is an income only, no? Okay, even that is an income. So out of this big chunk of income, we have to segregate or separate some incomes which the department doesn't wish to tax. Clear till here? All of you understood here? So the entire list of incomes which will not be taxable, they are put at one place. Section 10. Tell me, understood or no? All of you. Nitin understood? Mansi, Khushbu, Indrajit? Yes, everybody? Clear? Sure. So section 1, if you see your 10 clause 1 also, agricultural. 7, remember, allowances, purposes to government employee outside India. Obviously, now these are technical words. The exact name given in the subsection also. Yes, all of you will go ahead. Now, you don't have to remember all these lines. No, don't. Or all these points. No. That I have to deal with in next chapter. But 10.1 itself. Okay. Agricultural income. Okay, everybody, we'll go ahead. First subsection itself. Check. The reason for totally exempting agricultural income from the scope of total income, from the total central income tax, is that under the constitution, the central government has no power to levy a tax on agricultural income. Okay, the government doesn't have power. The government, see, first of all, central government, state government. So central government has the power to levy tax on income tax, income tax. But again, constitution has removed that power or has not given power to anybody to tax agricultural income. Clear till here? So constitution. If at all the government wishes to tax also agricultural income, then because there are lots of appeals today also happening. Farmers earning more than ₹1 crore. Imagine farmers earning more than ₹1 crore. There can be cases. There will be some cases, maybe 100 cases in the country, maybe 100 cases. But on 100 cases, we are losing around 20-30 lakhs of revenue of you can say income tax. I'm talking of net profit. Yes, everybody, net profit 1 crore. Clear to you? So there are some cases where government may think, but if at all tomorrow they wish to tax agricultural income also properly, then they will say what? They'll have to amend the constitution. They'll have to change the constitution, isn't it, bacho? So right now we don't have the power as through constitution. But again, in later end of this chapter, you'll understand even department is quite smart. Government is also smart, and they have indirectly taxed the agricultural income. Okay, now pay attention. So what is the constitution saying? No tax on agricultural income. So we have to obviously understand what is agricultural income or what is agriculture. So check. The problem is this: agriculture or agriculture purpose is not defined in the act. Okay, clear? But agricultural income may be received in cash or also in kind. Both of them are also okay. Okay, so income can be received in cash or also in kind. That is also okay. No problem. We'll have to check its fair market value whenever we have anything like kind. Okay, we'll go ahead everybody. Chalo. Section 2 talks about bunch of definitions. Yes. So 1A, definition of agricultural income. But okay, agricultural income is defined. Now use common sense, but please, very important. Only if all the activities income, if it fits or satisfies or is eligible under 2.1a, any kind of income, if it is eligible under 2.1a, understood, agricultural income, then it becomes exempt. But if that income doesn't satisfy, qualify this agricultural income definition, then it becomes taxable. So we are heavily dependent. Bacho, on definition of agricultural income. Okay, so we have to be very, very careful whether the income will fall or not fall under this definition. Clear? Understood, everybody? Sure. So let's start. First part. So what all is given in the act? Let's start that. Agricultural income may arise in any of the following 3 ways. Okay, there are total in 4, but the 4th one was given later on. That also we'll check. First one, rent or revenue income derived from land situated in India and used for agricultural purpose. Okay. Nature of income. Am I doing some activity on the land? No. I am getting rent from property, asset. Clearly, everybody? Yes? Okay. So it is what? But the property is land. But which kind of land? Obviously, but agricultural land. Why? Because only agricultural land you can use for agricultural purposes. Clearly, another important, very important point. It has to be in India. Understood, everybody? So rent or received from land. The land is situated obviously in India, but also used for agricultural purposes. What is the land? Agricultural land I have in Nepal and I'm getting rent. The land is used for agricultural purposes. Now, exempt or taxable? What do you think? I have agricultural land in Nepal. It is, and I have given it on the rent because obviously I don't go to Nepal regularly. So I have a property, so I've given it on the rent. Tell me. All of you. It is taxable, Mansi, correct. Because it is not in India. That condition is not satisfied. I have a agricultural land, let us say in Chennai, I have given it on rent. Correct, Ilya? I have an agricultural land. Correct? In Chennai, given it on rent. And that land is used for agricultural purpose. Exempt. Clear? It will be exempt then. I have a land. Let us say, Bachu, where? Where do you want it? Munnar. I have a land in Munnar. And I'm getting rent. But the property is not used for agricultural purpose. It is used for tenting, camping, staying, those things. It is Bacho taxable. Clear, all of you? Yes? Fine. So on paper, understand, on paper, property can be shown as agricultural or non-agricultural. You may have heard of NA land. Have you heard? NA plots. Don't write down. NA plots or NA land. Have you heard? NA means non-agricultural. Actually, you had not heard. Okay. So whenever you buy property, we always check it is agri or non-agri. Okay. Because if it is agri land, then you cannot build a building on it. Okay. There are some rules obviously for that. It becomes very, very risky. So to be very careful that if at all you're buying this open land, all the paperwork is clear or not. Okay. We can buy only NL property. So there are basically categorization by department. Okay. There is agricultural land. On agri also you have some criteria. Something called as barren. BARRAN. Barren land. Barren land means such property or land where there are stones, you can say big stones or kind of mines below the land, which obviously makes it what? Not good for agriculture. Nothing will grow on that land. That is what is barren land. Even those things are mentioned on your document. So there can be obviously other property on which you can grow crops, etc. Then you have non-agricultural land property where we stay. These are determined or called as NA, non-agriculture. Then there are properties called as forest property or forest land. They are highly, which obviously they are protected compared to agri and NA. Protected means protected by the department. You can't even have one small hut over there, okay, in the forest property. You can't do any kind of construction in the forest zone. Understood a little bit? Clear? Fine. So which is the first income, bacho? Rent from land. Land is in India, and that land is also used for bacho, agricultural operations. Clear? Important. Let's go ahead. Can I receive the rent in kind? Yes, I can receive the rent in kind also. Okay. Now check. If agricultural land is situated in foreign country, entire income taxable. This is, I think, absolutely clear now. The amount received in money or in kind by one person from another for the right to use land is termed as rent. This is again nothing great to be understood over here. Okay. But the one thing is, yes, amount received in can be kind also. Clear here? The rent can either be received by the owner of the land or by the original tenant from the subtenant. Means what? There is the land. Okay, so owner to tenant, or bacho what? Tenant to subtenant. As long as the land is in India and it is used for agricultural purposes, bacho, very important. Are you understanding the point? Both these incomes, subtenant to tenant, maybe. Are you understanding tenant to subtenant? There can be clauses or points in the agreement that yes, you are allowed to sublease. Sublease, you understand? So you are not the owner, but you are allowed to again give it ahead. That arrangement is also possible. Clear to all of you? So if subtenant to tenant, still agricultural income for tenant, and from tenant to owner, also agricultural income for owner. Tell me, understood or no? All of you. Yes, still here, all of you? We'll go ahead. All right, good. Nice. We'll go ahead. Okay, everybody? Fine. So rent can either be received by the owner of the land or by the original tenant from the subtenant. Okay, that's fine. Now, understand. Another example I'm going into, so I'm removing this example of subtenant. Okay. Now, there may be cases, but that that we don't live at our native place. Native place means where we were born or where we have a family. We may not live over there. So, or people may be looking for service or business or something else in the urban cities, but they have property. Which property I'm talking about? Agriculture. And they are not maintaining that, or they are not active into that agricultural activities. Clear, Delia? So what do? And they're not giving the land on rent. Okay. So they give the agricultural bacho property on sharing basis. On what bacho? Sharing basis. Have you heard of this? In my native language, it is called a neem batai. Okay. Neem batai, we call it. It can obviously be different wordings for different locations. Neem, I think, means half. Batai means sharing. I mean, again, that is just an example. Now what happens? Owner is staying in city or some other area, and not necessarily always the property is just lying next to you or next to your house. Property can be 4, 5, 10 kilometers away in some actual rural area you're staying in some other area. That is all quite common. Okay. So the person to whom the property is given, okay, he will manage everything, entirely everything. Okay, right from buying of seeds or whatever raw material requires, pesticides, chemicals, taking care of the entire year of all the production, etc. Okay, and the time when they're harvesting or removing, and harvesting means you can say removing the crops from the land, the time when it is the time to sell, that time the owner may come and check the actual production. And obviously the owner is not going to keep it with him again. He doesn't want any headache. Simple thing is that he'll just find a customer, or maybe even the tenant will find a good customer, and whatever income comes, it is shared to the owner, half 50-50, because capital investment is of the owner, land, but revenue investment or revenue, you can say activities of the tenant. I hope this much you're understanding. So the income which is going to owner is also treated, that it can be treated that way also, that yes, the sharing which is getting Bachu will also be considered as rent, because rent can be in kind. Kind, do you understand? Physical and a tangible, materialized, okay, in front of you. Understood or no? Tell me quickly. Kushbu, clear? So even that income will be Bachu under the first part, rent or revenue. Clear, Delia? It can be that way also. Simple. So first part was that. All right. Now should we go to the next part, second part? Quickly, okay? Chalo. Income derived from agricultural land. First part was what? Rent. Second is from the land only, agricultural land. But what are you doing there? Actual agricultural operations you're doing there. Clear? Process ordinarily employed. Process means again some kind of process, okay? Normally used to make the produce fit. Produce means production. Fit to be taken to market. Fit, you understand? Good or normal. So this can be what? Ordinarily employed to make the produce fit to be taken to the market. Yes, everybody? You might have seen groundnut plant, or beetroot, or tomatoes, or cabbage, or flower. What all you can think of? Okay, potatoes, right? They are not just removed and plucked and put in the, what you can say that, pouches, what you can call them, gonti, what do you call those gonti? No, sacks, correct? They may need to be cleaned. Use simple normal logic. You might have heard of brown sugar, or you might have heard especially much about that brown rice. Have you heard of that? In fact, that rice is not even brownish. At times it can be reddish also. Correct? Why, bacho? Because that is how it is grown. Rice doesn't have the basic color of white under that crop. Right or no? We think it is not okay to eat red or brown rice. Okay? Reddish, it is dark actually. Okay? But that is how naturally or originally it is grown. I don't know why, but in the process we know it has to be shiny. Okay? It has to be what? Shiny. Shiny rice we eat. So they remove the main proteins, vitamins, whatever it is there. I mean, the main nutrients of that rice by cleaning it. But obviously the production, now understand, we don't eat the crop of rice, no. We use that grain which is growing on the crop. So process, bacho, to make it fit is what? What do you think? We pluck it. Obviously, we harvest it. And then we put in that milling, I think it is what, milling or milling machine, something, okay? You put that crops. And the crops, then obviously, I mean, that machine, then what it does, it separates the chaff, or basically the crop, from the grain. Understood, Leo? So this all process again, I mean, we can say what, filling, transport, all of that in the sack is also, you'll say, that all comes under Bachar agricultural operations. Clear? And thirdly, Bachar, what you should do? Sale of such agricultural produce in the market. So this is your, basically, the entire operations. Okay, Delia? So this is the main core activity, which every farmer does, or big farmer does. Clear, Delia? So this definitely is what your agricultural income. But over here, what are we discussing in the second part? Is something pre and post agricultural activities. Pre and post also. Pre means before, post means after. Means something to be done before seeding, or you can say before using the seeds, before using the seeds. And post means what? Something to be done after the crop has grown. So pre and post and during also. All these activities will be what, bacho? Agricultural activities. Now check what are they saying. There are total three things. Operations, then process normally used, and sale. Check. What operations? Cultivation of a field involving human skill and labor on land can be broadly termed as agriculture. Again, we don't have to go into too much of details. Agriculture means tilling of land. I mean, basically you have to clean the land, sowing the seeds and similar operations. You can use bull, cattle. I am not going into the details, okay? Yes, and all of this is exempted, correct. All of these are exempted. Basically, then you will say, yes, these three things are required. Then it is agricultural operations. It involves basic operations and subsequent. Basic means beginning, before, very basic, and subsequent means after. Basic. Those operations by agriculturists which are absolutely necessary for the purpose of effectively raising produce from the land are called as basic. This is the base, very basic, required, core. Subsequent operations to the perform after the produce sprouts from the land. Sprouts means it comes weeding, cleaning, basically digging. These are subsequent operations. These subsequent operations would be agricultural operations only when taken in conjunction, important, with and as a continuation of basic operation. That means it should be your land, you are growing the crop, okay, and you are not outsourcing that activity of separating crop from the grain. You are doing all of that in continuation, okay? Because if I have a business, understand now, if I'm into that milling business, milling in what, but I'll just quickly show you, okay? Rice milling machine, I'll just quickly show you. I'm not going into details. Can you see something over here? Rice milling machine, something over here. Wow. Quite cheap also, obviously, depending on the capacity. This, what do you think this machine does? Okay. You put the crop in this. Wheat also, same thing. Wheat also. Wheat, or you can say now rice, crop you're putting over there. And separating the crop, the stand, correct? Shaft we call it, and the grain. This is the process to be done, or this machine helps over there. Clear to all of you? You understood? So if I'm in the business of milling, is it agricultural income or no for me? It is not an agricultural income. But if I have land, I am growing the rice, and I have the machine, etc. I am doing this process. So it is in conjunction. Conjunction means what? Together. Continued as a process. Understood? Then okay. Then they are saying that is also agriculture. But if you're doing this separate activity, then that is not an agricultural income. Kushbu understood something. Indrajit? Tell me. All right. All right. Fine. Later on, again, if you want to do time pass, you can go on YouTube and check the actual process. Okay, videos, etc. Correct. It is also called as paddy. If we only have this machine and use for earning, it will not be exempted. Correct. Yes, you understood properly. Yes. If we have this machine and we are having income from the machine, and we are not doing some agricultural activity properly, no. Now use, again, I'll give you one more example. Okay, Nitin, understand. I am a rich farmer. Understand. I am a rich farmer. Rich farmer, but you have tractors and not cattle. Correct. I use that tractor obviously to what, tilling of that land, my land. Correct. Understood, Ilya? I'm using the tractor for my land, for my agricultural land. So using of the tractor, is it agricultural operations? Yes, because it is used in conjunction. Conjunction means joint, together with my agricultural operations. Yes. But my neighbor says, I want to use the tractor for one day. How much will you charge? I said, okay, 5,000 rupees, whatever diesel, etc. and that rent of 2,000, 5,000 something. Correct, Ilya? And he gives me that money for tractor, 5,000 rupees. Correct, Ilya? That 5,000 rupees, bacho, the neighbor has given me. That is agricultural or non-agricultural? That would be taxable. That is non-agricultural. Very good. Good. Indrajit, understood? Khushbu, understood or no? That will be termed as rent from machinery. That will be termed as rent from machinery. Understood, everybody? Good. Very good. So this is also called as paddy, bacho. The crop which comes. Okay, actually, this it is enclosed. No? It is enclosed. At times also for some puja or some, what you can say, some religious activities also you use these things. Maybe you put that small whatever crop. Anyways, let's go ahead. So this I am unable to zoom properly, but the original was paddy and the last output was rice. Rice color sorter. Look at the, you can have grading, you understand, na? Rice packaging machine, rice polishing machine. Wow. Paddy separator. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's go ahead. Because that concept again will be relevant in GST. So that time also we'll be using the same logic. Okay. Conjunction means jointly. You can write on that. In continuation. Conjunction in continuation. Or jointly also is fine. Conjuncture. Conjecture is different actually. We'll go ahead, everybody. Yes. So the second one. I hope this is done. So that was pre. So regular kind of basic and subsequent. Then process ordinarily employed to render the produce fit to be taken to the market. So any again that process we had discussed, okay? And it can be putting the production in the sacks, then taking in the this market, transport, etc. The income from the process employed to render the produce fit to be taken to the market will also be agricultural income. The income from the process used to make the produce fit to be taken to market. This much is also what agricultural income. The ordinary process employed to make the produce fit to be taken to market includes thrashing, winnowing, cleaning, drying. It can be anything here. Don't have to go into basics. Do we have to start agricultural activities today? So I'm not going into the technical details. Okay, what is winnowing? What is drying? Depends on produce to produce. Okay, like tomorrow, not tomorrow, but in the next half of the chapter, we'll have the process to make tea. Not tea at home, the tea powder which we use. Do you know the process? We'll learn that also. Okay. Coffee powder. Yes, everybody, that also will see. Rubber tires which we use. Okay, that also will see. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead. Now understand. Understand. Very important. The produce means output must retain its original character in spite of processing. Okay. Unless there is no market for selling it in that condition. Whatever produces there of the agriculture from the agricultural activity, it should have the basic character same. Clear? That means if I produce sugarcane and I'm selling sugar, is it the same character of the produce? Character means what you can say. Am I selling the same thing basically? Simple. What am I saying? What am I using the word? Am I selling the same thing? Absolutely not. Because there is a huge different process. The original character is lost. Sugarcane is not sugar. Even sugarcane is not jaggery. Jaggery, you understand, no? Correctly here. That absolutely are not the same. Clear? So if I'm selling, let us say, sugarcane, only sugarcane, then yes, that will be definitely your exempt income. What you produce, you are selling that. Another example I'll give you, bacho. You are eating potato. You are what eating potato. So obviously you buy potato. Potato, understood? but you are buying or eating potato in a different form. Are they same? Are they same, bachcho? Again, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, potato chips again is mainly about potato only. If you look at the content, remaining is oil, salt, etc. That is different. But again, the majority of it is what potato only. Obviously, you're not mixing potato with something else, you know. Correctly, but is it the same? No. The selling of potato chips is absolutely not an agricultural income. The raw material used, is obviously agricultural. Raw material, potato. Out of potato only you'll make potato chips. That is different. So that story, all the story you have to see later on. But if I sell potato, it is what, bachcho? Agricultural. But if I'm converting, okay, the original process is lost. So this income obviously is not agricultural income. Clear? But again, there are some rules for that. We'll see later on. Because again, potato chips is mainly made out of potato only. So that is there. Anyways, understood earlier, all of you? Done? Okay. Any other thing coming to your mind? If I sell mango and pickle, is it the same thing? Selling of mangoes and selling of pickle? No. Yeah? So whatever is getting processed quite differently, and it is it is also called differently. The name is definitely different. The use is also much differently different. You know, you don't eat pickle as food. Correct, Ilyo? Right, Ilyo? But you can use mango as a food. Clear? Okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Today, people also sell batter. Batter, do you know what is batter? That idli batter, rice batter, you have no? It can be anything, rice, dal, whatever. Basically, it is processed now again. You soak it in water, you then again mix it in the mixer. If your mom and dad are listening, then they'll be very happy. Yeah? Teacher is teaching all these things of kitchen also. Yeah? Nice. Small things will help you in the home. Right? Okay. So selling of rice, dal only, but so that can be obviously exempt. But if you're selling batter, that may not be exempt because the original character is lost. Anyways, if marketing process is performed on a produce which can be sold in its raw form, income derived therefrom is partly agriculture and partly business income. Okay, if marketing process is performed, marketing. Okay, because normally, again, we'll say it is agricultural activities or agricultural produce don't require marketing activities, right? So marketing process is performed on a produce which can be sold in its raw form. It could be sold now. Rice. I'll give you a very simple example. Rice. Tell me a good brand name for rice. Good or whatever you know. Whatever. What comes to your mind when you say pulao or biryani or whatever? Which rice? I'm not. Yes, okay, Nitin. I want brand, but I want brand name. Basmati is a type of rice, correct? Any brand name? Nothing? Dawat you might have heard of. Dawat rice, have you heard? So this is again brand, no? Correct? So rice obviously could be sold unbranded. Rice could have been sold but unbranded. Unbranded, you understand? In raw form. Isn't it? Sometimes you go to big bazaar or some big D-Mart, etc. They, I think, sell in the raw form. They just tell you the category. Basmati, non-basmati, basmati tukada, column, this and that. Right, everybody? Right? But if you're selling it as a packed branded, then obviously it will be agri as well as non-agri. Okay, everybody. We'll go ahead, all of you. And third now, sale of such agricultural produce in the market. Any income from sale of any produce to the cultivator or receiver of rent in kind is agricultural income, provided it is from land situated in India and that land is obviously also used for agricultural purposes. Then again, this is what your agricultural income. Clear? If the produce is subjected to, means something is happening on the produce, any process other than process normally used to make the produce fit for the market, the income arising on sale of such produce would be partly agri and partly non-agri. Will refer rule 7 and will refer to rule and sub rule 7 for apportionment between agri and non-agri income. Apportionment means what do you think? Apportionment, Indrajit, Mansi. Apportionment. Bifurcation. Apportionment means you can say again bifurcation, okay? Allocation between 2-3 things. Apportioned, okay? Means what, but you bifurcated between 2-3 things, okay? We'll go ahead, everybody. All right. Now check. You're doing some process, okay? Other than normal process. Other than normal process on the produce to make it fit for market. Tea plants. I'll give you a simple example. Tea plants. They are plants. Okay. And from those plants, those leaves are plucked. Tea leaves. Clear here? Do we use tea leaves directly? But tea leaves. I'm literally talking about tea leaves. You may use tulsi, bacho. Tulsi leaves you may use. You might have seen or heard of that those tea, normal tea also. You might have. Okay. Or pudina. Pudina, you know. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying, maybe in green tea, people put that also. Okay. Lemon and pudina. So many things we were discussing, you know, apart from actually income tax. Anyways, but the process we are doing on tea leaves is not a normal process. It is not a regular process to sell tea plants, right? You have produced what bacho tea plants, correct? So are you selling tea plants? No. Just like the example I gave you, you have, let us say, produced rice or dal, but you are selling batter. Okay. So we are not selling the kind of original form. Okay, tell you all of you. All right. So when you're not selling the original form, you're doing some process on it. These all examples. So part will be agri and part will be non-agri. Understood? All of you? Ariha. We'll go ahead, everybody. Coffee, bacho. Coffee powder. Let me talk about coffee powder. Don't write down anything. Coffee powder which we buy 10 rupees, 20 rupees, or entire box, or whatever. That dabba you have, you know? In or can coffee powder. What was it just before that, or before it became coffee powder? What was it? Don't you say coffee, you know? It is a coffee powder. So what was it before coffee powder? Very good, Mansi. It was coffee beans. And what about just before coffee beans? From where you got the coffee beans? From what? Rainfall? Somewhere agriculture. Yeah, good answer. Something from agriculture activities. It's a flour. It's a flour. That flour is what I think roasted or something, or removed, and that you have those beans. Beans are like seeds only, you know, like we have chiku fruit, right? And then you have those beans. So it's a flour. Okay. From that flour, you get the beans. Then you roast the beans. Roasting, understand? Like groundnut also we roast. Okay, roasting. Then we crush those beans. So if you go to Starbucks or some other cafe, they will show you beans normally. Right? And when it is obviously then grounded, it becomes coffee powder. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead, everybody. All right. Chalo. Done? Clear? So first one, what but literally rent income. Second was actual agricultural operations. So all these things are satisfied, then we say yes, these are agricultural. And then there are the combination of both also, agri and non-agri also. Like tea, coffee, sugar. That is what mixture of agri as well as non-agri. Is it clear, Delia? We'll go ahead. Because third part is going to blow your brains out. Simple. Not simple actually. Income from farm building. You wanted agricultural activities. Now you're seeing building also. But what is the connection? Okay. You're having now obviously income from building. Okay. Understand in Income Tax Act or in law, basically building, don't directly imagine building of 5 floors, 10 floors, etc. Okay. Building is simply but 4 walls and 1 roof. Understood or no? What did I say? It can be small, you can say hut also, tent types also. Temporary kind of arrangements. Understood? Clear? That we term as building. Okay, don't directly imagine in your head, how can we have a building next to a farm or inside the farm? No, it can be small house also. It can be temporary structure also. Clear, everybody? Should we go ahead? Chalo. Check. First one. Income from farm building. Assessee has building, but we are calling it as a farm building. And is getting rent, but not from land. Because if it was land, but will come in this part. First part. But here he is giving which property now on rent? Building part. But not just building, but we're calling it as a farm building. So you should know that the building is somewhere or nearby the farm. And it has a good connection with the agricultural operations or farm activities. Okay. Use common sense. Oh, now what common sense? You go to some area, let us say outside your city or at the outskirts of your city, there is some real estate project going on. Agreed? There may be some real estate project going on. Now, whenever you will visit that area, you will see lots of laborers and workers working over there. You will not obviously see lots of workers or laborers in the city area where there is no any kind of real estate project happening. Buildings are not getting constructed, okay? So there is some area which is getting developed. Over there, lots of buildings are getting constructed. Over there, you'll see lots of laborers. Now, these laborers, bacho, they come from maybe different cities also. Or maybe from city area. But they are not going to travel daily 20, 30 kilometers for the work. So what happens? Where do they stay? Or in the building itself, with the building which is getting constructed. Next to the building or nearby the building, area is again managed for them or allocated to them where you can have your own patra, you know, patra we call it as what? Tin sheds. Okay, those sheds, you know, obviously it is not the best of the facility, but that is given near the building area. Yes. In the building area or near the building area. Correct. They stay there only. Are you getting my point, all of you? So similarly now for agricultural operations, the farmer is not going to stay 20, 30 kilometers away from the land. In fact, for farm, you have to be careful. There always has to be a person who's always there in and around the farm. Because that thought only came to my mind. We cannot have like kilometers and kilometers of that land protected with wires, barbed wires. We cannot. It's impossible. But it's not feasible also. And people will come and go. So you need to have people in and around the land. Now, where will he stay then, bacho? He'll have to have a small house or some kind of arrangement to stay over there in or around the farm. Yes? Clear? So here, The rent is from the building, but the building is in and around or for the purpose of agricultural operations or for the farm. Clear till here? Then and only then the rent from building is also agricultural income, therefore exempt. Tell me, understood? Because main purpose was what? Agricultural operations. To do that, we are giving the building on the rent. That's how much the building from the rent from the building is also what, bacho? Agricultural income. Therefore, exempt. Clear? Indrajit? Okay, we'll go ahead. So income from the farm building, which is owned. Now pay attention. Income from farm building, which is owned and occupied by the receiver of the rent, owned, or revenue of any such land, or so receiver of rent or receiver of revenue from the land, or occupied by the cultivator, or which you can be occupied by cultivator also. Cultivator means whoever is working on the farm, or the receiver of rent in kind of any land with respect to which, or the produce of which, any process mentioned above is carried on would be agricultural income. Any above process means which one? This one. This process wherever it is happening on any of the land, and from that land we are having farm on for that purpose we are having a, you can see income from farm building. Then you'll see what it is your agricultural income. Clear? But what term should be satisfied, bacho? What term should be satisfied? Farm building. Tell me, clear? All of you? We'll go ahead, everybody. Sure. That also. Yes, Mansi. So you're going to have storage facility on farm. What are you going to store? Two things. Obviously, raw material, seeds, chemicals, whatever you use, pesticides, let us use the word pesticides, fertilizers, correct? Manure, etc. Apart from that, your agricultural tools also required. Your pump, motor pump is required, and motor pump are costly also. So usually they have a place which is under lock and key, correct? And thirdly, you will also, not thirdly, but after the operation, you will also require it maybe for storage. Maybe for storage also of some produce, temporary storage. Clear? Okay. We'll go ahead. Check this. Now, farm building is going to eat your head. So I'll just quickly go through the basic part only. Conditions for income to be considered as agricultural income from farm building. We are now watching the third category. First was rent from land. Second was agricultural operations income. Third, income from farm building. Now, when it will be what farm building? Condition. What are the conditions for it to be called as farm building? Clear? First one, the building should be on or in the immediate vicinity. Vicinity means area of the land. Which land? Agricultural land. Vicinity means nearby. Isn't it? Clear? Next one. The receiver of rent or revenue or the cultivator or the receiver of rent in kind should, by his reason of his connection with such land, require it as dwelling house or a storehouse. Storage. Storage, do you understand? Dwelling means bacho, reside or stay. Reside or stay. Yes, hello, all of you. And understand, in connection with such land, we have to look at the intention behind the giving the things on rent. Okay. If you're going, but if you're going for time pass on that land, you want to have some enjoyment, agricultural tourism, you want to have a very basic life. Okay. You want to have that feel of walking in on agricultural land for 2-3 days. Feel. And then I give it on rent. That is not farm building. That is much of tourism. I'm getting the difference. There are many people on their agricultural land have constructed or created halls, marriage halls, or something like that. Okay, that is bachcho not agricultural operations or rent from farm building. Just because the building is on farm, bachcho, doesn't mean it becomes a farm building. Okay, the purpose is important. Are you getting my point? The purpose is very, very important. Yes, you might have bachcho heard of the term farmhouse. You might have heard, bachcho, isn't it? Farmhouse. Clear? Now, just because there is a house on the farm, it doesn't make it as an farm building. Okay, it doesn't make it bachcho what a farm building for income tax purpose. Clear till here? So look at the purpose or intention also. Why that property is there on or near the farm. Clear, all of you? We'll take a break here because the concept which is going to come now will blow your minds. And before that, we can have a very small point. Yes, fourth one. Okay, I'll give you something in writing and then I'll give you a break. Check the fourth point. Fourth point means fourth type of income we can have. Check. Again, there was a very famous case law for this. Check the point number one. Very important. Income derived from saplings. What about the sapling? It is mini, minor tree, minor plant. Minor means basic, very beginning, sapling. Okay. Or seedlings grown in a nursery. Correct. Small plant would be deemed to be agricultural income. Income from sale of seedlings, saplings grown in nursery is agricultural income. Whether or not the basic operations were carried on land. How much can you grow seedling, sapling without land? You can. You don't require much land. What you require is mud, soil. And you can keep the soil, bacho, in the plastic pouch also. Correct? Or you can keep it hanging also and grow the seedling and sapling. Basically, now you can have agricultural income even if you have a nursery on a terrace, small area. Yes, everybody. So it need not always be grown on land. Yes, mud and soil is required. That is basic thing. But that can be carried on in plastic pouches also. So basically, income. No. So this is your fourth part there. Again, there was a very famous case law for this. There was a fight, and the department. Then later it was held that income from nurseries also your agricultural operations. Clearly, all of you. So it need not be okay, whether or not the basic operations of that what putting the seed, growing it, taking care of it. It may not always be on land. It can be in your those, you can say soil is part of land. Soil is part of land, but it is not land, no. Mud or soil, yeah. That's fine. You're taking some part of the land, but agricultural operations will be in point number 2, this one. Whatever you do on the land will come in over here, the second part which you have done. But if you take the soil and you do it on a terrace also, okay, you're building. So even that will be considered as agricultural operations because the main again intention is what? Creating life or growing that plant. Now, how you grow that plant can be in any other manner also. Okay. There can be very exotic or you have to be very sensitive, very other types of plants which may need different kind of care. It may not be on land, it can be anywhere else, is also bacho allowed. These days, if I am not quite sure, but you can have growth of plant without soil also, or some new technologies also coming up. You can grow plants in laboratories, in a proper AC, etc. So there are many things which are happening. Okay. So it need not always be on land, but even those will be considered as what? See, so income derived from sale of saplings. Correct? Grown in a nursery, but you're saying. Well, activity may or may not be carried on land, will also be considered as what? Agricultural operations. Okay, so write down in your notebook, come on. Okay, agricultural income. So basically, what are types of agricultural income we had seen? Basically, it is exempt. No? If it is agricultural income, then it is exempt or not taxable. Exempt means what? Not taxable. Rent from agri land. So mainly we want rent from agri land in India. Okay, situated in India. Situated in India. Second, income derived from agricultural operations. Third is income from farm building. Yes, and fourthly, what's your income from nursery? Important. Fine. We'll have a break. Break till what? 15 minutes, 10, max. Come before that only. Yeah? Finally, all of you. Is it okay? All right. We'll take a break, okay? Fine. See you. Okay, I'm here. Are you there? Okay, I'm here. Are you there? अच्छी तरह आवाज आ रहा है। नितिन, खुशबू, हाँ, खुशबू का मैसेज आ गया। हाँ नितिन, मानसी, खुशबू। All right, let's go ahead. Shall we start? Please resume. Ulrich, okay, let's go ahead, everybody. Okay, so these are your main 4 types of income, which are categorized as what, bacho? Agricultural income. Clear? The purpose or meaning of this is what? It will be exempt only if it is agricultural income. So these things are what, bacho? Considered as agricultural income. But again, all the things given inside these, okay, all the things should be satisfied or conditions should be satisfied. Clear? That is always there or important. All right, very, very important. Clear? Now we are in this part. Remaining we have already covered. Okay, this, sorry, and nursery also. Nursery bachcho may or may not be on land. Keep that in mind. Okay, so now we are in this category, farm. This is a little bit different. Okay, unique. Ready? All right. So now check. For it to become a farm building, the condition to be satisfied bachcho for farm building is what? First thing we have seen, it has to be what? On the land, agricultural land, obviously, or nearby the agricultural land. There is a connection or no? Yes. You want the building on rent. Why? Because you want to do the operation, agricultural operation. So building obviously bachcho has to be near the agricultural property. Clearly, use common sense bachcho. Where will I get high rent, in the city or outside the city? Where will I get high rent? In the city, obviously, correct? Am I doing agricultural activities in the city? No, you'll always see agricultural land, but outside the city, outskirts. Clear or no, all of you? Correct? So my house is also at the outskirts, where I'm going to get less rent. But the purpose of getting the rent is not something like farmhouse or tourism. It is mainly very much core attached to that agricultural land. That has to be satisfied. Clear? So that's why second point they have used is what? The purpose is what? To stay or store. Understood? All right. Understand now. Let's go ahead. Important now. This is important. Also, any one of the following conditions must be satisfied. Must be satisfied. In addition to the above conditions. What? First one. The land should be either assessed, that means verified, or taxed to land revenue in India. Land revenue. Just like you have property tax in corporation, then you can have land revenue tax, okay, in India, or be subject to local rate assessed and collected by officers of the government as such. Something like Lagan. Lagan is literally tax, but if you have just property, tax on that property. But which property I'm talking about? Land. Okay. So assessed to land revenue department in India or local rates of your same thing. If not department, then local rates assessed and collected by officers of government. Why? Because you have a property. And generally, now let me tell you, generally, okay, but generally, these are the properties which are situated quite far away. Okay, these are the properties which are situated quite far away. Point number 2, where the land is not so assessed, means not checked, not used, not taxed, okay, to land revenue in India, or is not subject to local rate. So first is this category. If this is not satisfied, then we go over here. It should be situated in a rural area. It should be, but they are saying. It should be, but what? Situated in a rural area. Now, rural use common sense means what? In the city or outside the city. Again, I'm using a very general term over here, isn't it? In the city, bacho, or outside the city, what do you think? Outside the city. Agricultural land should not be in the city. Land I'm talking about. Because the building is going to be on the land. Understand what is happening over here. Okay. Let us say, this is my city area. Okay. Okay, till here. And this I'm calling it as rural. Okay, so it is urban and rural. Okay, fine. If I can have property, agricultural land anywhere. Clear, clear. So I have agricultural land over here in the urban area, city area. And on that, I have a house, farm building. Correct? My school drawing, lower KG, third school, I used to draw like this. I still draw like this only. Okay. Don't expect 3D diagrams from me. So it is what, bacho? Agricultural. Still. Okay. This is what my farm building. And let me also have one more same example. Where will a bacho get good rent? Good rent. Farm building of urban area or city area. Correct? Agree till here? Any doubt? Any problem till here? All okay? Fine. Will I actually keep it honestly for agricultural purpose? Then no. I may give the land to builder maybe or whatever, but still on paper, if it is still agricultural operations and I'm deceiving means faking to the department and saying no, this is agricultural farm building, but actually I'm giving it for tourism. Are you getting my point? Will the farmer will be able to afford this rent also over here of this farm building? Maybe not, isn't it? So the land for the purpose of farm building, I'm saying, but understand please which income I'm talking about. Farm building should be where, bacho? Rural area. Okay, let me change some example again. Pay attention. If I'm getting income only from bacho agricultural operations, these are crops now. Correct? You have to assume it is crops. Correct? So I have agricultural land in city area, no problem. I am doing agricultural operations on the land and I'm selling the produce. Taxable or exempt? That was my example. Land is in city, you're doing agricultural operations on the land and you're selling the produce. Taxable or exempt? It is exempt. It is exempt. Don't worry. It is exempt, but it is exempt. Because of rule number 1. Or rule number 1 means basically case number 1. Okay. So not with this one. Agricultural operations from income from doing operations or agricultural operations on the agricultural land. It is an agricultural land in city, no problem. Fine. And you're doing literally, genuinely, properly these agricultural operations. Clear till here? That is what bacho exempt, no problem. But I'm mixing this example now with another example. So basically, income from agricultural operations is different from income from farm building. Understood or no? Income from agricultural operations is different from income from farm building. These are definitely and different. They are about different, bacho. I am plowing, tilling, putting the seeds, growing. That is agricultural operations. Here, I'm getting bacho income also from farm building. Yes, that is the first of all the difference between both of them. Is it clear? Understood earlier, all of you? All of you, good. So, to be eligible or to be understood as farm building, where the land should be situated, yes, it has to be in rural area. It has to be in rural area. Is it okay, Khushbu? Once you all okay till here? Fine? Good. We'll go ahead, everybody. It has to be in rural area. Then it is what? Farm building. And again, if it is satisfied as farm building, then bacho only and only then it is exempt. Are you getting the process now? Clear till here? So they're saying if it is not assessed to land revenue or any local rates of taxes, okay, then where the property should be? It should be in rural area. Clear? All right. Rural area. Now they can't give it is law after all. So they can't give simply in simple language. Rural area means the land is not situated, but then give properly and where it is situated. They're saying what, bachcho? Not situated. Rural area means the land not situated. In any area, okay? Basically, now this point number, clause number A and B, this further points A and B, they are eligible or not eligible? Not eligible. We want the land where? In urban or rural? We want urban. We want in rural. They are saying, okay, but the following points are not rural. They are, in fact, urban. Okay. So the property should not be in urban area. Land, obviously. Should not be in urban area. Clear? We'll go ahead. In any area as comprised within the jurisdiction of a municipality or a cantonment board. We have discussed this cantonment board also. Which type of person, which type of assessee, which type of person is cantonment board or municipality? Tell me, all of you. Very good. Yes, local authority. Good. Yes, nice. Yes, Indrajit, correct. Cantonment board, bacho, obviously then managed by defense. Okay. Or a cantonment board yes, which has a population not less than 10,000. Okay, not less than 10,000. So, if at all the land is where? Inside or outside municipality, bacho? Tell me. Inside. And what are they saying? Population is how much, bacho? Not less than 10,000. Correct? Then that is bacho urban property. Understood or no? That is what bacho urban property. Clear? So is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Basically, it will be taxable. Okay, it is not a rural land or not a rural area, so not a farm building, so it will be taxable. Or now, apart from that, outside, in any area within such distance, within the word is what? Within such distance, measured area. How the distance has been counted? Not by road, not by railways, not by anything else. What distance we want? Directly aerial distance. Understood, all of you? Aerial distance, you understand? The thing which we used to do on our maps. Today also, on 2D maps. 2D maps means what we see on the phone or the maps which we used to buy on school or check in the school. We should take the distance by scale. Aerially. We don't care about mountains are there or valleys are there or what is there. We are checking the distance, bacho. Aerially important. Clear till here? Okay. So even if physically, practically, it may be a long route by railway. Like in Gujarat also today you have. Gujarat map, if you'll see, there is no bridge. They are, I think, constructing a very big bridge. I think so. Or I think there is a waterway transport which takes you only 2 hours. Waterway transport, I think. But if you go by road or railway, it takes you 8 hours. It is that kind of turn. Even in Mumbai also something that is there, that kind of turn. Okay, did you get the point? So we are not measuring what, bacho? Land, why you can say by roadways or railways. You can say directly airways in a way, but aerially in a straight line. Clear till here? Understood? So in any area within such distance measured aerially in relation to the range of population, okay, according to the last preceding census as shown here under. Okay, so here the rules, the law itself, but the department also already have given some regulations. Okay, if it is within the jurisdiction, pay attention now. If it is within the jurisdiction and population is more than 10,000, then definitely urban. But if it is outside the jurisdiction, okay, just outside the line of jurisdiction, which jurisdiction I'm talking about? Local authority. Still, there has to be some more distance from the border of the jurisdiction. Obviously, I'm drawing a circle here, but jurisdictions are obviously the maps are different. But for our example, for our understanding, I'm putting such jurisdiction. Did you understand? So that is your urban area. Clear? So even if, now but understand, even if, now pay attention, this land is just at the border of what? Jurisdiction. Still, it will not be rural area. There has to be some distance, some more distance, depending now much on the population of this area of the municipality. Basically, now understand, wherever is this land, the land will be in some Gram Panchayat municipality, wherever, or outside your corporation limits, correct? So it has to be rural. But it will be, again, we have to check the distance from the closest corporation or closest municipality. Now understand, obviously. Now this is a land, you know. So there can be another municipality here also. So I'm going to check which is my closest municipality, this one. From here, my distance should be so and so. Clear till here, all of you? Whichever one is the closest one, that we have to check. Clear, all of you? Which one is actually closest? Now that's why please don't shift. Don't shift now the land to here now, okay? So you'll say, sir, it is far from here, but close to this. No, it's not like that. If it is close to this, that means this was the closest. Clear till here? So we look from the closest municipality jurisdiction. Okay. We'll go ahead, everybody. Sure, check. Population of the municipality or cantonment according to the last preceding census. Last preceding means preceding census. I think in India officially they have given the census only in 2001 or 2011, not 2011. After that, this year it was going to happen or should happen maybe in recent time now. Of which the relevant figures have been published before the first day of the previous year. So nice, no? So nice wordings they have given. Because every year you have to check. Every year means what we will be checking, it is rural or urban. But we'll check as on 1st day of April whether the latest, whichever is the latest census we will use. As on 1st April, whichever is the latest census available, that we will use. So let us say as of today, we have 2011 census, that we will use. Maybe after 2-3 years, if the government officially releases 2022 or 23 census, officially for the decade, that we will use. Understood? So not to think too much. Now understand. Population of the municipality. Clear till here? Or cantonment board. More than 10,000, more than 1 lakh, more than 10 lakhs. Correct, everybody? There are villages which hardly 50 or 20 houses. We might have heard, if at all you have seen from some friends in agricultural area. There are villages which we'll call it as town, which we can call it as town. They're bigger, but not like city. And obviously city areas. Correct? Now wherever, let us say for example Pune Municipal Corporation, or whichever city you stay, corporation. Okay, you have, let us say, corporation. Just outside the corporation, but you will not make an rural area. Obviously not. Because just because corporation has some limits doesn't mean the rate of real estate will be directly very much hampered or affected. If the rate at the border of the jurisdiction rate, I'm talking about, let us say, real estate projects, building. Let us say is, I'm just giving you some example. Let us say is 10,000 rupees square feet in the city area. If you go to some outskirts, but still under jurisdiction of corporation, let us say 8,000. Just one step outside the corporation is not going to make it 4,000. Maybe it will be 7,500. Are you getting the difference, Bacho? So just outside the corporation is still not rural. Now understand, looking at the population, they're trying to understand, they're trying to give it here. Depending on the population of the corporation or municipality, the distance of the land should be further and further away. Okay, depending on what the size of the municipality. Is it okay, everybody? Understood, all of you? Should we go ahead? All right. Shortest aerial distance from the local limits of a municipality or cantonment board given above. Shortest aerial distance. Tell me, if it is within the jurisdiction and population is more than 10,000, that was urban. Within. Very good. Yes, Indraji. But if it is now outside the jurisdiction, and population is more than 10,000, but up to 1 lakhs. Then they say we don't allow, or this will not go to rural area. You see, this is not rural area. A little bit further ahead is rural. How much further ahead? Up to 2 kilometers is still urban. Understand now. Up to, but I'm just saying, we will be drawing lots of diagram also. Don't worry. Up to 2 kilometers is still urban, and outside now 2 kilometers is rural. Understood? Population how much of the corporation or municipality? More than 10,000 up to 1 lakhs. Ahead now, next category is what? From 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh to up to 10 lakhs. Town area, town you understand, small town. More than 1 lakh to up to 10 lakhs. They're saying no, not just even 2, but this limit is there. Inside limits, so forget it. It is urban. Outside limits, immediately outside limits also not allowed. Further more distance. But how much? Check 6 kilometers. Are you getting my point? If it is your rural, and now keeping it outside 6 kilometers, then it is, if it is close to Bacho corporation, etc. This is urban. Border also urban. After 6 kilometers, we'll say it is rural. Clear till here? Yes. And now third more point. If the population is city, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, whatever you can think of, correct? Big cities. 10 lakhs is now again not a very big population for any normal city also, right? More than 10 lakhs. Clear? Now there is no upper limit obviously here. If a location has the corporation or municipality has what, Bacho? Population of 10 lakhs, more than 10 lakhs, sorry, more than 10 lakhs. Then further far away. How much, Bacho? 8 kilometers. Check. Again, I'll repeat. Urban. And let us say outside here, after 8 kilometers is what? Rural. Clear till here, all of you? Yes. We cannot shift the land. Use common sense. The land is there only. But we're checking the distance between the land and the nearest corporation limit. Clear, all of you? Okay, so let me ask you some things that if it is your property urban, I'm not right now, don't focus on your population. Urban, taxable. I'm getting income from farm building. This is also urban farm building. It is not a farm building, so it is taxable. Okay, still let us say urban, then taxable, not a farm building. So something like that. Okay, but only if it is, let us say, beyond 8 kilometers, then it is rural, and that's why it is exempt. Khushbu, Indrajit, understood or no? Nothing. Understood? Good. Let's start. So write on the notebook, bacho. Income from farm building. Or it is basically agricultural income from farm building. Fine, all of you? Land. What is the first, or you can say, criteria? It should be assessed to land revenue. Right? Assessed to land revenue or local rates. Or land should be located in rural area. Fine till here? You're writing down, guys, correct? The next point I'm writing down for your understanding. Distance depends on population. To determine, okay, whether rural or urban. And don't forget, what do you want, bachcho? I have written wrong word over here. It is not local area, it is rural area. The land should be, bachcho, in rural area. Ready? So some diagrams, small diagrams will be drawing. First one. This is your limit of what? Corporation. ठीक है बच्चों? Clear till here? Population is more than 10,000, but up to what? 1 lakh. Be always careful at the border numbers. More than 10,000, but up to 1 lakh. Till where, bachcho, it is urban? Till where it is urban? Up to 2 kilometers, bachcho, it is urban. Fine till here? Very good. Okay, which kind of distance is this? Distance is what? Measured as aerially, aerial distance. Again, this is for your understanding. Okay, obviously the actual geographical distances or jurisdiction are not in circle. All right. So actual map is like this. Something like this. Okay, I'm just doing some time pass diagram actually. So my 2 kilometers are also going to be like this. Did you understand something? Correct? Understood? Next one, should I go ahead, bachcho? Chalo. For me, it is easy to draw. What is the next category? More than how much now? Tell me. More than 1 lakh. Ready? But up to how much? 10 lakhs. The distance will grow. Distance will grow. Only for your sake of time pass, I'm doing this little bit growing the distance. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Distance how much? Up to 6 kilometers. Okay. Right? And last one will be what? 8 kilometers. How much now population? More than 10 lakhs. Not 10 kilometers, sorry. 8 kilometers. खुशबू ओके डलिया इंद्रजीत We'll go ahead, everybody. Sure. Is it done, all of you? No. Come to your textbook then. Okay. Come to question number 14. Question number 14, page 3.8. Ready, bachcho? Chalo. From the following table, cases, we have different cases. We have some areas, A, B, C, D, I mean, location. Shortest aerial distance from local limits of a municipality or cantonment board. Population according to last preceding census and so on, which is available. Is the land situated in this area is agricultural land? Basically, if they want agricultural land means basically what do you want? Rural or urban? What do you want?
Rural.
Very good. Fine. Ready? We'll try. Chalo. Shortest aerial distance from, but using the word from. Achha. What will you check first? You will check first distance or you will check first population? What do you think?
Population.
We should check obviously population first, right? Good. Now the case number A, population is 9,000. Till bachcho as it is, okay? And then this land is outside the local limits up to 1 kilometer. Tell me. Rural or urban? That is my question. Rural or urban? Nitin, Kushbu? This is rural because the condition starts at more than 10,000. Clear to all of you? And the property is obviously now outside the local limits. The condition starts at but so more than 10,000. We are at which case now? 9,000. So immediately outside is also completely allowed. This is rural. Rural, therefore, yes, it is agricultural land. So income from farm building from such property, but will be what? Exempt. Population is now 12,000. Distance is 1.5 kilometer. Very good, Nathan. Kushbu, is it okay? Kushbu, Mansi? Very good, Mansi. Yes, it is urban. Good, quite good. Very good. Population is now 11 lakhs. Indirectly 11 lakhs. Up to 8 kilometers, but it is urban. So this is only 2 kilometers. Urban. Population 80,000. Means which category? More than 10,000 up to 1 lakh. The distance should be 2 kilometers. And the property is at 3 kilometers. Very good, Nathan. It is rural. Because now it is outside 2 kilometers. No. Very good. Is you understood, Kushbu? Population is 3 lakhs, more than 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. 6 kilometers. Up to 6 kilometers is urban. This is at 4 kilometers. Therefore, again, bachcho, urban. Is it okay, all of you? Kushbu, okay? Population is 12 lakhs. Up to 8 kilometers is urban. So this is also bachcho, urban. MCQ can be asked. We'll give you all the detailed cases. So you have to be very careful. 8,000 only. 8,000, my goodness. 8,000 outside is also rural, bachcho. Therefore, yes. Next one. 4 lakhs. That means 1 lakh to 10 lakhs. 6 kilometers. The property is at 7 kilometers. So yes, also this is also rural. Star mark 9th one. Achha, yes or no? Because okay, fine. Rural, urban, you could identify. Okay. The question is why we are writing yes or no? Because that is the question. Is the land situated in this area an agricultural land? We're discussing from which point of view? Farm building. For farm building, it has to be agricultural land. Now, agricultural land can be what, rural or urban. So if it is rural, I'm saying yes. If it is urban, I'm saying no. Okay. because the distance, etc. is given, it is for farm building case. No, I'm not saying that you're doing agricultural operations on that or no. No, that is not the case. You're doing agricultural operation, that is different case. Okay. We'll try to find the farm building for that category. Got it? Next one, ready? 10,50,000. How much virtual distance? Upper two, within 8 kilometers. Up to 8 kilometers. Is bacho what? Urban. The distance, which is whatever we are given. If it is more than 8 kilometers, then was rural. So that's why we say up to exactly whichever figures are matching. It is urban. See, the distance is used or the data given to you in the theory. The word uses bacho within. Okay, the word is used what? Within. Okay, all of you? Check here. Can you see this signatures? Signs. So up to 2 kilometers, up to 6 kilometers, up to 8 kilometers. Yes, everybody? I hope this is clear. We'll go ahead. Next one. Ready, bacho? So up to 8 kilometers, 10,50,000. Ready? So it is urban, huh, bacho? It is urban. So is it an agricultural land, Kushbu? For farm building? No. And 15 lakhs, 9 kilometers, rural. I hope this is clear. All right. How is bacho accounts and costing going on? All okay? Wherever, whatever you're doing, I'm just saying normally. Even that chapter, even those concepts are quite heavy. That's easy. Accounts, costing overall. Good. You're finding it logical and normal. Good. Okay, nice. Good. All right. Come to 3.3. Some point was there about after the distance. Ready, all of you? The capital gains. Can you see first point is done? Nursery income is what, bacho? Agri. Second point. Ready, all of you? The capital gains arising from transfer. Transfer, what I told you was what? Transfer means?
Sale.
One of the examples, yes. One of the examples of transfer is bacho sale. Of urban agri land. Of urban agri land would not be treated as agricultural income under section 10, but will be taxable under section 45. 45 is very much, lots of time for that. 45. But I want you to go in chapter number 1. There's a diagram given at the end of chapter number 1, and I want you to tell me which chapter section 45 belongs to.
Capital gain.
Very good. In fact, section 45 is bacho what? Charging section of capital gains. Clear? Charging section means that section qualifies that particular income or gives eligibility for that income to be taxed under that head of income. Only if that first section is satisfied, then that entire chapter is applicable. Okay. We'll go ahead, everybody. Yes? All right. Third chapter now. Oh, we are still here. Correct. Yeah, this point I was covering. The capital gains from transfer of urban agri land is not agricultural income, but it is what, bacho? Income under section 45 capital gains. The capital gain arising from transfer of urban agri land. Clear? Now understand. One of the biggest myth of farmers is farmers never pay tax. That may not always be the case. I think I discussed this already before, but let us again finish it off. Very important. These are your crops, correct? These are crops. Understand? Farmers have to pay tax and they get big notices at times when the department understands some information that the farmer has converted the land on paper properly, let us say, as non-agricultural, or has given the property to a developer, a real estate developer, under a JV, joint venture. Are you getting my example? Basically, he sold the land. That has nothing to do with your agricultural income. Selling of agricultural land also, especially your urban agricultural land, we will see that also, is what, bacho? Not an agricultural income. Sell of land. Clear? So if the farmer sells off his land, he has to pay. I mean, that depends on other things on the chapter of capital gains also. And if it is urban agri land, then definitely bacho has to pay taxes. Clear, everybody? If he does only this work, so now the department or the law is very strict. If he does only this work, selling of the produce, that is revenue income, that is 10-1 income, 10-1 agricultural income exempt. But bacho transfers the land itself. Clear? That is what, bacho? That is your capital gains. Understood, all of you? Clear? Are haan. We'll go ahead, everybody. All right. The third one, non-agricultural income does not become agricultural income only on the account of or because of its indirect connection with the land. Okay. Indirect connection with the land means what? I'll give you an example of dairy farming. Dairy farming, what do you require? Cows, buffaloes. Where will they eat? On land. Obviously, there whatever fodder, etc. Where do you grow your fodder? On agricultural land. So by sale of milk and milk products, I'm indirectly bacho or kind of using what? Agricultural land. But by sale of bacho milk products, that is not your agricultural income. Okay, everybody? Are you getting my point? What I'm telling you? Okay. So if I have some land on which I'm growing the fodder, you understand fodder? Food for the cattle. Okay. And I'm using that cattle for what? Milk process or whatever else, correct? So sale of milk will not be what your agricultural income because it has an indirect connection with the agricultural land. So you thought this chapter is very easy. Yes, it is easy, but you have to have some clarity. Different cases. Right, Mansi, understood. Khushbu, Indrajit, Nathan, let's go ahead. Clear? So these points, whatever I'm giving you in textbook, please reverse it properly. Okay? We'll go ahead, everybody. All right. Did you cover study material or no?
Cover क्या है sir?
Rational status. Did you read everything? Tell me. Khushbu, Mansi, in the Nitin, you had the day off yesterday. At least from PDF online, whichever you have the book. Hai na? Okay. So you read my notes. Please cover study material. Okay. Please cover study material. Also once you have to, because you have paid for the books. And my notes are again, see, my notes are kind of in a way, it is obviously the intention is to simplify your study material notes. So it will obviously help you, but I want you to go through once the source. It is like reading from Bare Act, like that. Okay. So instead of going to Bare Act, that I don't expect, that I will expect from CA final students, obviously. Areva, good, nice, good, Nitin. You got the OTP. Okay. Okay. So that is expected. And we used to also carry our income tax act with us in the two classes when used to go for income tax classes for CA final. Okay. So small pocket income tax act we used to take and read from the Bare Act. That is one level of knowledge required, or that level is required at final level, professional level, because immediately after crossing final, you are a professional through whom questions will be asked by clients. So you need to have that level. So in intermediate level, you are getting only brushed up, just a kind of introduction to the law. All right, fine. So at least if not the Bare, at least you should refer to the study matter. Okay, chalo. The last part, for today's discussion, sale of such agricultural produce in the market. So small example I was telling you, the main produce has some connection with the agricultural produce, the main produce. I am not talking of milk with that land now. No, I'm doing a different example. Produce, the content of the produce is agricultural produce. Okay, milk is not agricultural produce. You don't grow milk, correct? Okay, so the final product, whichever you're selling, has agricultural produce in it. For example, I gave you example of chips. Or that dal also you get the Haldirams, and what you get that? Balaji dal, moong dal, something roasted. Groundnut, for that example, masala groundnut, bacho. Yes, you might have had for some sessions, correct? Whatever. So these have, the content has agricultural produce. Understood? Clear? But do we grow it like that in the land, on the land? No. So there is basically some process happening after the agricultural production. Correct? Simple example, sugar. What are we growing? Are we growing sugar? No. What are we growing? Sugarcane. And so basically, till sugarcane, we have agricultural operations or activities. Once the sugarcane is done, or it is harvested or removed, cut, etc., the process happening after or from sugarcane to sugar is bacho industrial or business operations. Clear? What will be, let us say I am a sugar factory. Okay. What are all the different roles I'm giving to myself? So I only grow my sugar. I only grow sugarcane. I only use the sugarcane to produce sugar. Okay, manufacture sugar. So I will earn income not from sale of sugar. I will not earn income from sale of sugarcane. I will not earn income from what? Sale of sugarcane. Because I'm consuming it, using it to produce sugar. So my selling point or my selling product is what? Sugar, bacho. Yes, everybody. So I'll be earning income from sugar. But now 100% of sale of sugar, bacho, is it non-agricultural income? Actually, no. And this is an example, Kuzbo. Sale of sugar, 100% of my income from sale of sugar. Is it agri income? No. Because after all, bacho, the sugar has elements of sugarcane, or basically one of the raw materials, important raw materials used was sugarcane, which was agricultural produce. So when I sell sugar, some part of it is considered as agri, and some of that is some of the remaining is considered as non-agri. Non-agri means business. So till the harvest, or you can say cultivation of sugarcane, it is agri, and the process from sugarcane to a factory, business operations, okay, or manufacturing operation, but that is agri. That is non-agri, that is business operations. So which one will be exempt? Till the part of sugarcane, but will be exempt. And from sugarcane to sugar, that manufacturing business process, that is taxable. So to apportion. But I'm getting what, bacho? The entire income I'm getting from sugar. Are you getting my point or no? Let us say if I sell ₹40 per kg as sugar. Okay. So just for your time pass example, I'm saying that. Let us say ₹30 will be gone for agri. This is apportionment. Okay. Differentiation or categorization. And ₹10 will go where? In business. Which will be exempt? This 30 rupees. And this bacho what? 10 rupees will be taxable. Yes, all of you? Done? Sorry. So the bifurcation is not as per your and my mood, or how much is agri and how much is business, because obviously nobody is going to say voluntarily how much is agri and how much is business, because I will say 35, I will say 38 rupees also. Okay. So for that, bacho, what do we have? The bifurcation is given in bacho. Check here. We'll refer to rule and sub rule 7 for apportionment between agri and non-agri. Business means bacho, non-agri. Is it okay? Right? We'll go ahead. Rule 7 and sub rule 7. Check. Ready, everybody? Rule 7, 7A, 7B, and 8 of income tax rules. Now, I hope you're understanding why rules are coming into picture. It is helping the act or no? Yes. What did the act say? Agricultural income exempt. The act said only that much. But how much is agri? How much is agri for a composite or a combined supply? In a way means what? But it is one and the same. Sugar includes sugar cane and process, business process. So how much is agri and how much is business? But this is helped by rules. Clear, all of you? Check. Some of them are very easy as a percentage I've given you. Okay, check. What is the first year column? Business, and this is agri. Okay. Let us check in simple example. One of our favorites. Let us say tea. Income from growing and manufacturing of tea. Are they saying tea plants, tea leaves, etc.? No, tea. 40% is business. Business. You know? And method is what? Agri. The tea which you buy, the tea powder which you buy, packed, or whatever, it will be considered as 60% is was agri and 40% is business. Clear till here? So it is not 100%. We'll say exempt. Is it okay? Then let us say income from growing and manufacturing of rubber. Where do we normally use this rubber in our day-to-day lives?
Court rubber.
Coat rubber. Eraser. Okay, what else?
Rubber tires.
Very good. Tires. Correct. Good. Yes, tires. But how are they manufactured? What goes in that black color? Black is just a paint. Any idea? Tires were invented accidentally. Okay, tires were in a way invented accidentally. We don't want too hard hair band rubbers. Yes, wow. That rubber, nice. We don't want too hard of a rubber. We don't want too soft of a tire or rubber, isn't it? We want that perfect thing, right? So income from growing and manufacturing of rubber, 65% what? Agri. Quite good. And 35% is business or non-agri or taxable. Much of a rubber or tires, the raw material is, you can say, the content of a rubber plant. There is a rubber plant. Green color sticks. Green color sticks, stick. When you cut them, you get that white colors extract from that plant, which is used. Okay. Not this one. Rubber tree. Okay, fine. Give me rubber tree. Correct. Right. Correct. Dink. Yes, dink also used. Correct. So this is a big tree, which is small in small level. It is small, that green color, dark green color, which you might have used. It is very sticky. So this small slits they put on the tree, and that gives that thing is collected. Okay, everybody. This is used. This is obviously processed, and then what you get is your rubbers. Right, all of you? Yes, it is used in food also at times to make laddus and all, है ना? Okay, fine. So when now a manufacturing company which is growing its own rubber tires, not growing, sorry, growing on their own rubber plants and selling tires, growing their own rubber trees or plants and selling tires. So by selling of tire, it has both the elements. Raw material is agri and other process which is non-agri. So how much is agri and non-agri? But this bifurcation is given where? Rule 7, etc. Yes, all of you got the point. All right, all of you. So these percentages are given. Okay, everybody. Just read this table for your homework. We'll start with this concept again and questions also on this in the next lecture. Okay, everybody. Maybe one more lecture or maybe two more lectures. This chapter is small. Okay, not that great. Yeah, fine, everybody. All right. So read this table for homework. This entire page actually. We'll again discuss it and solve it. Solve questions on the same. All right, all of you. Okay, then yes, that's it for today for tax. All right.